I think it's time for a bit of a fantasy fairy tale poem. This is one for the younger children. It's the tale of old Pete and his chip butties. Come with me softly, tread light on your feet. I'll tell of a rabbit I knew once named Pete. He sat at a table in dim candle light, eating chip butties all through the dark night. He munched them sadly in candlelit gloom, surrounded by shadows that danced round his room. Winter was approaching and poor Pete was old. Soft snowflakes were falling, they numbed him with cold. The candle grew dimmer, then flickered and died. Without its warm flame old Pete nearly cried. He put on his muffler of faded brown moss and left his cold warren. There were fields to be crossed. He went to the forest on Sunny Oak Hill and stopped for a rest near Windy Ridge Mill. In misty white swirls the snow fell thick as Pete started looking for tinder dry stick. Beneath the ruined mill, tucked away from the cold, he found a lost rabbit, shivering and old. That rabbit, like Pete, had been searching all day to find wood for a fire to keep winter away. He'd found a few branches too heavy to lift, but while he'd been resting, Jack Frost, in a drift of snow so heavy, had turned everything white. It covered his paw prints, no field marks in sight. The cold was worsening when old Pete arrived. The lost rabbit was frozen and barely alive. As the snow fell faster in dark deepening night, they dragged large branches across fields now white. Back in Pete's warren a fire soon roared. Within its warm halo they defrosted each paw. When Christmas arrived it was met with much glee, chip butties and chocolate and cocoa for tea. You may think this story of poor old Pete can't possibly be true. A fairy tale, a cheat. But if you know where to look, and if you look with care, and make no noise, you'll still find them there. Two little old rabbits lying snugly asleep beneath snowdrifts of winter in their burrow so deep, but who every Christmas laugh with delight, eating chip butties and chocolate all through the long night.